sorry, my numbering might be different, but there was a sentence referring to the maintenance of the rule of law.
Oh, to the maintenance of rule of law.
Do you see that?
Yeah. Did you pick that up, Ms. Silkstone? Ms. Silkstone, are you there?
No, I'm here. No, I haven't found it, but I will find it. I know it's there. It just seems to be
the very last line of that paragraph. Very last line.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll find it, don't worry.
Yeah, okay. Okay, you will.
Oh, I found it.
Okay.
Okay.
Page 14, page 15.
Chair, page 15, Wilma.
Honorable Nico Strachans.
Page 15, 5.6. 5.6 on page 15, the third last line. So the third last line says aimed. Okay, it should be. Sorry, I'm just trying to interpreters just trying to figure out what's being said. Okay, third last line, it's aimed at combing and the comb. Okay, combating GBV, gender-based violence. I think that there's a repetition of the word, the one word there.
Okay. Ms. Silkstone will deal with that.
Did you get that? Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Silkstone, did you get that?
Yes, I've got it. I've already corrected it.
Okay, and then the same paragraph, the last line says, the committee agrees that, however, welcome. It doesn't sound right. So just one of those words needs to be taken off.
That is on page 15.
Yes, it's the same paragraph. So it's the last line on page 50. So it says that, however, and then welcome is used. Yeah. Okay, that's it from page 50.
Steve's right.
Honorable Swart, page 15.
No, I don't know if you're at 5.9 yet.
The same
No,
same
not yet.
paragraph, so it's the last line
We're still coming,
on
yes.
page 50. So it says that, however, and then welcome is used. Yeah.
On
Okay, that's it from
5.5,
page.
I think it's the last paragraph. Honorable Swart, page 15.
No, I don't know if you're at 5.9
The committee
yet.
has expressed some skepticism given the slow pace of efforts to integrate and modernize the justice system. Can't you find another word for skepticism?
Yes, I will.
Okay. So can we go to page 16 on 5.9, which will, we're not yet there, Mr. Honorable Swart. Page 16. Can you find another word? Committee has expressed some page 7. Mr. Swart, 5.9.
I was just wondering whether we could strengthen 5.9 because we expressed a very strong view on civil recovery by the asset forfeiture unit, and I seem to remember you saying that we will ask them to report back to us on that, whether we express ourselves strongly enough there. It says the committee supports the NPA in its corruption, busting role, and therefore notes the NPA by a lack of capacity and resources. The committee intends to pay closer attention in future to the work of the asset forfeiture unit, maybe in brackets after that, given its key role in freezing orders and civil recovery, something like that, given given the key role it plays in civil recoveries, the committee intends to pay misappropriated state funds, in brackets, just to strengthen the role. Remember, we focused a lot on civil recovery. Given the committee intends to pay
not as specifically
the work that civil recoveries forfeiture may impact. I think so, because I don't think we mentioned it in civil in that context.
What is the
while we're watching it,
Wilmania Johan seconds the report.
just please note our objection to we also note the neutrality of the FTA and
and the ICD reserves position. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Dr. Janti, as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, honorable members. Can we go to the correctional services as contained in Appropriation Bill V10 2020 dated 17 July 2020. The report was circulated and I think members had the opportunity to go through the report. We will correct the report page by page and then thereafter move for the correctional services of the portfolio committee. Are there any corrections on page 1? Correctional services,
further down, Chairperson, if I might continue, the table which indicates the implication on performance. There are two aspects that I want to address myself to. The first is the fourth indicator, which says percentage of inmates injured as a result of reported assaults in the percentage. There have been 144 reported assaults. That's just schematic. But more substantively, look at the fourth and fifth implication on performance. It says there have been 144 reported assaults from the 1st of April to date. And then the next one says from the 1st of April to date. Now, the question is, what date is that? Is it the date of the report? Is it the date on which the department briefed us? Is it the date as the date of the debate by the National Assembly? I would prefer to say between the 1st of April and whatever date, the 15th of July, which is when the department briefed us. I just think that's just more accurate.
The report to the 15th of July, honorable members, that we presented. I take it there is no objection. We're still on page 2, and any further issue on page 2. Page 3, budget allocation for the Department of Correctional Services. The report to the 15th of July, honorable members, page 4. Mr. Sir? Okay.
In paragraph 4.1, in the last sentence, they refer to suspension and variance fund. I suppose I assume that the E and the I are transposed, which should be my reference.
Ms. Rookstone, can you look at that? Can you correct that? Okay.
Yes, we will.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sir. We're still on page 4, page 5. Page 6. Mr. Sir, Ms. Rookstone, can you look at that? Can you correct page 7?
Joe, you're on item 5 yet?
I'm on page 7 now.
When you get to item 5, committee observations.
I think we have passed the committee observations, Honorable Swart.
Joe, you're on item 5. I'm sorry, I don't have the page numbers on. I just want 5.1.
5.1, yes.
I just wanted a date for that. The Deputy Minister reported that there were 162 active cases. Was that on the 15th of July? I think it's important just to put a date there as at a certain date with the observation.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think Mr. Rookstone will look at that. I think let's adopt the date on which the Deputy Minister briefed us.
That there were 162 active cases. 5.1 was that on the 15th of July. I just wanted a date for the date there as the Minister reported that there were 162 active cases.
Honorable Mbozi, I think
I'm on the summary of the
page.
last point says paragraph 5.9. And if you go to paragraph 5.9, there is no mention of gender-based violence. I think perhaps it meant to say 5.8. So the people who are writing may perhaps clarify, but that's what I think they meant.
Okay. No, thanks. Next system.
Yes, he is correct with 5.8.
5.8. Okay, let's correct it accordingly.
So I think perhaps it meant to say 5.8.
We are now on page 8. Appreciations, recommendations. Can I now put the report as a whole as corrected or amended? Is there any more?
I move, Chair. I move for that.
Honorable
With
Marcelo
correction. With correction.
Honorable Marcelo move the report with corrections.
Second.
Who seconded? Honorable Mpuken seconded. Put the report. Honorable Mpuken seconds.
ACDP reserves its options. Thank you, Chairperson.
Please record the objection.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mpuken seconds.
Mr. Chair, can I just ask something?
Okay.
Where is Richard Young?
Where is who?
Just next to you. Just next to you. If you can just look around and see it. Just next to you. Thank you very much. Can I just say seconds? Just next to you. Just next to you. It's very hot here. Now we'll be dealing with vote 27, the Office of the Chief Justice. The report of the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services on vote number 27, Office of the Chief Justice for 2020-2021, as contained in the Adjustment of Appropriations Bill D10 of 2020, dated 17 July 2020. Are there any corrections on page 1? The report of the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services. Now we'll be dealing with vote 27, page 2 of the Chief Justice, as contained the report of the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services on vote number 27, dated 17 Justice for page 21, and as contained in the Adjustment of Appropriations Bill D10 of 2020, dated 17 July 2020. Page 4. Are there any corrections on page 1? Vote 27, page 2 of the Chief Justice. The report of the Portfolio Committee, page 5. Now we'll be dealing with page 2, as contained the report of the page 6. Honorable Joseph.
Yeah, my gadget doesn't show pages, so I want to speak to section 5.
Section 5 deals with. Do you want to speak on programs?
No, it's observation section 5. I'm just saying, in case you get there, please do. Yes, thanks.
Okay, no, okay, sure. No, we
Chair, I'm sorry, also 3.5. I think you might have passed that already.
Section 5.
Yes,
No, it's observations, section 5.
But I think it's 3.5.1 bullet 2. I think that is a very serious comment, and we need to incorporate something at the end. The comment, the OCJ may not be able to procure the necessary PPE to continue to fight the COVID-19 pandemic and to ensure the safety of judges, officials. I think that is a very insightful, but it's a matter of deep concern. Given that most of your judges would be at high risk, over the age of 60, possibly comorbidities. So I don't know if one needs to add something at the end to highlight that, or whether that is a sentence as well.
We suspend it until the end so that we can deal with it holistically.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. That was page 5. I think page 6, programs. Page 7. Page 7 also includes superior court services. That is page 8. Page 9, judicial education and support. Page 10, observations. Honorable Ndlozi. Honorable Ndlozi.
Well, thanks. Yes, indeed. Thanks, Chair. Well, number one, I think the report is numbered in a bit of a bit differently. So from 3, it moves to 5. There's no 4. In terms of the numbering. So can they please look at that? Because you'll see that after 3.3.5, it goes to section 5, which is observations. So there's no section 4, unless I have a wrong report.
I think there's a problem with your report. There's 3.5, 3.5.1, and then there's programs, which is 4, 4.1, administration, 4.1.
So there's what? I think I might have the wrong report, because I've got, okay, Chairperson, this is the report I read, which is numbered differently. Let me go back to my emails from yesterday. Yeah, I will, I don't want to raise points that have been raised.
Okay. No, we are still on observations. You can still come back if you still think that the issue that you wanted to raise has not yet been covered.
Okay, Chair, let me just say this, and then you'll correct me if I'm wrong. I think that we've got to insist as well. It seems to me it's something we had discussed and agreed upon on all the entities that appeared to us, that we have to get a proper breakdown in relation to the procurement of PPEs. I would like that to be integrated even in this report, that we have to get just beyond whether they followed the right procedures or not, but the proper breakdown of where they're procuring them and all of that, because there has to be some attention to detail, taking into consideration all forms of reports that the space of PPEs is becoming infested with misappropriation and corruption, mispricing and all of that. So let's integrate that even here. That's number one. Number two, I would like a paragraph about gender-based violence and the fact that there is a commitment to the resensitization and the retraining of judges when it comes to cases of gender-based violence. We couldn't submit a report that says nothing about this aspect of life. At least the one that I've read has said nothing about gender-based violence and the constant commitment we hear about the retraining of judges, the resensitization of judges when it comes to gender-based violence cases. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Can I suggest, honorable members, that the first issue that Honorable Jose raised, I think it's important that we also insert it in the previous reports that we have adopted, because I remember what we said in the last meeting is that it must not be seen as if we are just targeting correctional services. All our entities need to give us those detailed breakdowns and reports on how procurement has happened in the space of COVID-19. So can I suggest that with your permission, we include it now on this report and even the previous reports that we have adopted?
Chair, it's Werner Horn speaking.
Honorable Horn?
Yes, Chair, I have in principle no objection. As a matter of fact, I think it is something the Honorable Nglozi has been driven, which is definitely something the committee must adopt as part of its agenda. However, I don't think it would be fair to include this in the report of the OCJ and the Department of Justice if it was not something we have raised with them when they appeared in front of us to unpack the adjustment budgets. Our report must be a reflection of what they came and presented and what members raised with them. So I would not be in support of including it in the reports for that simple reason, although I'm fully in support of including it in our agenda for the upcoming quarter in our activities. Thank you.
Chairperson?
Honorable Janche?
Yeah, I want to immediately, for a very strange reason, stand close to Werner Horn on this issue. I agree with him. You would not want us, when we're looking at adopting this report, to generate new things that would not have been raised on the spot with the relevant departments. On the correctional services, we raised this issue sharply, and it reflects in the report of the correctional services. But I think the issue that you helped us with is that as we did that with correctional services, you then said, as part of our agenda, we need to make sure we mainstream this issue as a particular focus program for all the departments and entities. It does mean that we are going to have to communicate that to those that we could not raise with them in the meeting. So in that way, that's why I support Honorable Horn is correct, because if we start that process, then it's going to create a wrong precedent where we surprise the department or the institution, because when they left there, they would have picked up what is it that we raised. So we can't in their absence just start raising new things. So I wanted to support him on that, but still to say you indicated in the same meeting that, and we supported that we're going to take an approach that focuses on that follows the money on the COVID-19 expenditure. That's the approach we took. We're following the money on where these expenditures are. We're very detailed on the correctional services. It might mean that as a chair, you are going to need on our behalf to communicate that with all of those where we did not raise it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Janche. Any other member on the Honorable Glennis?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I support the submissions of Mr. Horn.
Okay, Honorable.
Don't just select.
Honorable Jose.
Thanks, Chairperson. I think the logic is fundamentally flawed, and it's okay for members to disagree, but I think it would be very sad that Parliament can't make its opinion outside the guidance of the executive arms of the state or the judicial arms of the state on any matter. That it will have to make its opinion, its observations on the basis only or on the terms only that are determined by these entities. That will be a sad day for the type of robust oversight, robust accountability, and the independence that Parliament has. We were free to make observations, and such observations need not have to be on the terms determined by the entities. So you may as well agree, you may indeed disagree that something shouldn't go into the report, but that can't be the basis, that purely because it was not raised with them, such an observation cannot be made. You are limiting your capacity as Parliament and your freedom and your rights. That can't be the basis. I fundamentally think we must dispatch with that, with such thinking. Of course, I'm welcome to members saying these observations must not go in and all of that, but that can't be the basis. That can't be the language even of members of Parliament, that we can only make observations be on the basis that they have been properly conversed with the entities. No, we're free to make whatever observation that we want. We can even make such observations in their absence. It's our report. It is what we think. It is what we come to conclusion on. And I think it's fair that there is even a section called observations. Often when we engage these people, we ask questions. We don't even get in a point where we debate amongst ourselves or debate with them. If you look at the flow of all the conversations, it was constantly couched in questions and answers, questions and answers. And therefore, when we reflect, it's time then to enter into that reflection without them, having listened to what they said, having questioned them. We make our own observations, our own conclusion, and then make a recommendation. Parliament can't work like that, as honorable members are suggesting. So on those bases, I think let them give us a different reason other than the fact that a committee can't make its own observations outside or in the absence of entities. That will be a sad day for our work as Parliament, if that's the logic we're going to be succumbed to. Thank you.
I think he's got it wrong altogether.
Honorable Janji, can you speak to the chair? I will note you. Do you want to respond?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, Honorable Janji.
I just think, Chair, it's very unfair that Honorable Ndlozi makes a determination of that nature to actually misrepresent us live, just in front of us about what we've just said. It's a complete misrepresentation of just the brief discussion that has been there before. Even under observation, we are saying the points that you made as a chair, we are going to have to take up those issues, but it is wrong because the report that we're adopting is a report that we're in a discussion with those kind of entities. If we have missed something in that discussion, you can't just throw it in the way that he was smuggling the issues. And I don't think it's correct for him to say that we are now, because it's taking it too far, that we are now limiting ourselves as members of Parliament about the kind of things that we're going to have to observe. We've been observing things throughout all our meetings and made the kind of decisions. We are not being ruled by the executive or the entities or limited by them. So I find it quite a bit extreme in terms of his own assessment of what we've just raised.
Okay, Honorable.
It's Werner Horn speaking.
Honorable Horn?
Yeah. No, Chair, I think the basic principle is this. This is not a report of the Portfolio Committee on Justice on necessarily all the matters that is something that the portfolio committee feels there is an obligation both on itself and on the department to deal with going forward to ensure accountability and proper oversight. This is a report that deals with our interaction with the department in respect of the adjustment budget. And for that simple reason, we must confine ourselves to the interaction we had in respect of the adjustment budget with the department. While the Honourable Ndlozi is quite correct to say we can always observe matters outside of what we sourced from the department during our engagements, he's quite correct in saying that. But those observations can logically, to use his term, and reasonably not find their home in this report. Those observations must be dealt with by this committee if we set aside a specific date and time to deal with a bit of planning in order to take ownership of our own agenda and program for the months to come. That's as simple as it is. Thank you.
I think, honorable members, we need to bring this matter to its finality. And I would suggest that we take the view of the majority and say that we will include this issue, what we have observed now, as part of our program of further engaging with the two departments, that is the Office of the Chief Justice and the Department of Justice, on this issue of the procurement of COVID-19 items. That the majority view is that we should not include it here, but we should, as part of our program, ensure that we call them. We ensure that we continue to monitor this issue as part of our program, and we interact with them further on this one. Can we move from this issue?
Yes, Chair.
Agreed, Chair. May I, 5.6, I'd like to suggest a further amendment.
5.6.
That would be the last, and that is in line with the issue I raised earlier about the paragraph 3.5.1, where it indicates that the OCJ office may not be able to procure the necessary PPE to continue to fight COVID-19 and to ensure the safety of judges and officials. And I think we need to put a sentence here to say, referring to that, the committee notes with deep concern that the OCJ may not be able to procure the necessary PPEs, given that many judges and possibly officials would be in the risk category, i.e. over the age of 60 and with possible comorbidities. Then you can tie in something along the lines of what you've just suggested on the previous item, that we would raise this going forward, the procurement of PPEs. We don't have to say that, but I think we need to refer that is deep.
Honorable Swart. Honorable Swart. Honorable Swart.
It's a deep concern. Then they will only ease. But I would suggest we insert something to refer to.
Honorable Swart.
Yes, I've finished.
No, I could not hear your last two paragraphs.
What I suggested then was you can follow up with this when we're discussing the procurement of PPEs as per our program. But my suggestion would be just to insert that we, as per my suggestion, the committee notes a deep concern, and then we refer to that clause, that the OCJ may not be able to procure necessary PPEs. That is what they told us. And we need to highlight that. And we need to say why we're highlighting, given that many judges and possibly officials would be in the risk category, i.e. over the age of 60 and with possible comorbidities. Full stop.
Okay. Are there any views on this matter?
Chair, it's Glynis.
Honorable Glynis Breitenbach.
Thank you, Chair. I don't think it can do any harm to support that view. It is an important view. That's an important point to make. So if we can find space for it, I think we can make it.
Honorable Glynis Breitenbach supports the view. Any other view, either in support or contrary to the view expressed by Honorable Swart? Can I take it that way? Honorable Janji?
I have no problem, Chair, except that we are going to oppose it when we adopt the report. That's fine.
Okay, Honorable Janji supports. Honorable Lewood Dragons?
Yes, Chair. I support that addition, Honorable Swart's suggestion, because I did ask in the meeting if, the matter of will they be able to purchase the PPE. So I do support Honorable Swart's proposal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think, Ms. Silkstone, you will add that paragraph on 5.6.
Yes, I will. I'm doing it now.
Okay. Honorable members, that is all. Can I now put the report as corrected? Is there any supporter of any mover for the report to be adopted as corrected?
Sorry, Chairperson.
Okay, Ms. Silkstone?
Sorry to interrupt. There was a point around the gender-based violence.
Yes. Sorry, yes. Sorry, Honorable Dos. You raised 2 points. I think we focused on 1 point, and then you raised an issue about domestic violence. Ms. Silkstone?
I just need to know whether I should include a paragraph on that, or whether
There seems to be no objection. I think you can include it.
I will.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Can I now put the report as corrected? Is there any mover?
Chair?
I
move, Chair, and I note the objection and reservation from the others.
Honorable Janji moves. We strike the other part.
But this honorable member is Jajarach.
We strike the other part.
And Chairperson, you have to rein on such conduct. It's really Jajarach.
Honorable members, the report has been moved. Honorable Lewood Dragan supported. Is there anyone who is against the report? Yes. So the report has been seconded. I take it there are no reservations on this one.
Not the reservation of the ACDP, Chair. ACDP reservation. Thank you.
ACDP, Honorable Glynis Breitenbach.
The DA reserves its position. I have to leave the meeting now. I've got to go and find Janky.
That's nice.
Honorable members, we're in a meeting. Let's try and maintain the decorum of the meeting. DA and ACDP reserves. Any objections? No objection. The report is adopted. Honorable members, I'm informed that we will be debating on Thursday, vote 25, justice, I think at 4 o'clock So we will meet on Thursday. I think the other reports would not be debated in these EPCs. They will be part of question and answers on the 29th of July, when we finally adopt the reports. So we will meet on Thursday, honorable members. Thank you. I think we have come to the end of our meeting. Is there any mover to close the meeting?
I propose closure, Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay, seconder.
Thank you, Chair. I second.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.